Good evening and Shavua Tov. My name is Mike Monty. I grew up in a small town in Rhode Island, a place far removed from any Jewish life. There were no synagogues and very few Jews in the town I grew up in. I'm not even sure if there's a single family there that's not intermarried. I have two amazing parents. My father's Catholic, my mother's Jewish. Growing up, I was raised Catholic. I didn't particularly identify as Jewish. If someone asked, maybe I'd say I'm half Jewish. Despite my mother telling me I was Jewish, I never learned about any holidays or customs. My only Jewish experience was lighting a Hanukkah menorah a few years during my childhood. I had heard of a holiday called Passover. I had absolutely no idea what it was. I went on to study in university and work in the commercial real estate industry in Boca Raton. And I was very passionate about my job and, thank God, successful. Exactly 2 years ago from this day, I had the opportunity to work on a deal that would change my life forever. My name is Michael Monty. I grew up in a small town called North Kingstown. I went to public schools. I had a pretty normal, secular upbringing. My father was not Jewish, my mother is Jewish, and my father and his family really did not want us to be raised Jewish, so we were brought up with more Christian, Catholic tradition. We'd go to church sometimes. We'd celebrate Christmas, Easter, all the big Christian holidays. The only thing I did growing up in terms of being Jewish was maybe we lit the Hanukkah candles some years when my mother's grandparents would come over. I graduated from university in 2021 and I got into commercial real estate.
I grew up in Lakewood. I married a girl from South Florida, from North Miami Beach, and after we learned a year in Israel, we came to live in South Florida. I worked in the mortgage industry, and eventually we started getting more into the lending business. As the company started doing bridge loans, we got a deal from Colliers, which was a mortgage broker, from a broker named Mike Monty. Mike Monty, I never met before. I never heard of him, and the deal was a sizable deal. I told him, we don't do RV parks, and we're not RV lenders. He responded back, did you read the full email? Did you see how strong the sponsor is?
I convinced him it would be a good deal. He ended up deciding to put out a term sheet, and from there, I got it in front of the buyers, and they were like, oh wow, where did this come from? It's actually good terms. We ended up signing up the deal, but in real estate, always something comes up. And we had a pretty major hiccup towards the end of closing.
Part of information of the deal that was not disclosed to the lender, not disclosed to us. And when it was disclosed, it was a big problem. It jeopardized for us to do the deal. When I called Mike up and said, Mike, this information was just given to us by the attorney, he couldn't believe it. He was surprised himself. He did not know this piece of information. And at the end of the call, I'll never forget the words he said. Joe, don't worry. It's all from above anyhow. It will all work out.
So my husband turned to me, he said, you think he has a Jewish neshama? His name is Mike Monty. He doesn't sound Jewish, but you never know. So I said, it doesn't hurt to ask. They spoke the next day, and my husband called him up and said, are you Jewish? He said, well, my mom's Jewish. I think you guys consider that being Jewish. So my husband said, yeah, it does. It was right before Pesach time.
After that, Yosef called me and he said, what are you doing for Pesach? And I said, nothing. I mean, I'd never done anything for Pesach in my life. I knew nothing about it. So he invited me to his family's house. Before I left to go down to Florida, my mother gave me this bag. I had no idea what it was. It had a Star of David on it. For no reason, she just gave me this bag and to take down to Florida with me. And I remember when I went to Yosef for the first time, he wrapped me with tefillin.
And that was the beginning of his journey wearing tefillin, coming to our house, meeting our family. Now he's part of my family. They know him in the neighborhood. Other people in the neighborhood became close to him. Everyone loves having Mike around. They even nicknamed him Brother Mike.
I was going to Yosef for about a year, and I was still living in Delray Beach, and just things in business just kept getting slower. The market really took a turn. Interest rates were going up. Yosef suggested I go to Aish. And in July of 2024, that's when I came to Aish. I'm sure Yosef wasn't expecting me to go to yeshiva. He just wanted to do his obligation as a Jew, to be friends with every Jew and treat them like family. And it can really change lives. It changed my life, it changed my siblings' life, it changed my family's life, and has given us a new perspective on Judaism. And you don't have to be a rabbi to do this. You just need to be a friend.
Good Vach. You met Mike and you heard his story, and I'm honored to have a small part in his amazing journey and growth. I'm honored to have him part of our family, and my entire family is honored to have him as our close friend. Growing up in a home that put an emphasis on midos and caring for others, it was natural to get involved when the opportunity arose. But working with other people and teaching great friends like Mike, who didn't have the advantage of the growing up with the Yiddishkeit and seeing how impactful it is to their life, made me realize, and my entire family realize, how really impactful Yiddishkeit really is. It's like a delicious ice cream cone on a hot beach. You don't need to sell it. It sells itself. Being a mensch and a Torah-observant Jew, anyone around you will want to lick at that ice cream. The life of an Erlich Yid is the best ice cream out there, and it sells itself. And that's what my parents taught us growing up. Mike has personally transformed my entire life, the life of my children, my Elimelech that's here, and my Ibi that's here in the room tonight. I can remember the Seder we had with Mike, with my younger and older son sitting side by side Mike, showing him what the Haggadah is, telling him what Mitzrayim was, how we got out, and we're going to get out of this gullus. It was just, words can't describe. Was it a little scary when I first reached out, and having Mike come for a meal here or there? Yes. But look at the reward, and it was really worth it. There's more to this story. Mike is very liked, and we're so honored to have his brother Nick here tonight. We're even honored to have his brother Mark here tonight. And his sister Jen is learning in the city. Because Mike is a real role model, not just to me and my family, to his siblings. Before I finish, I want to read you a message that I received on Wednesday morning. Good morning. I just wanted to send you good wishes for your upcoming event and thank you for bringing Judaism to all my beautiful children in their own special ways. It is really quite inspiring. I will forever be grateful to you and your beautiful family. Enjoy your time in Connecticut. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Lori Monty, Mike, Nick, Jen, and Mark's mom. A good Vach.
Yosef, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for me. You inspired me to learn at Esha Torah. You've inspired my entire family. And none of this would ever have been possible if you didn't decide to invite a secular Jew who knew nothing to a Pesach Seder. Thank you for having the courage to welcome me into your home. Thank you.